say it seemed like it's fair to say that was the best offensive performance considering everybody was involved. Tomas.
No doubt, and I thought our spacing was really good. I thought we made open looks at a much higher rate. I thought we had open looks. Finished some shots in the paint at half. I haven't seen the final numbers, but at half we were like 9 for 12 in the paint. You know, I'm always talking to you guys about our goal of about 63, 64% on the season. We're in the mid to low 50s. Tonight we finished at the paint, which allowed us to get some step-in jump shots, and we finally shot it like, again, I see behind closed doors.
Looked like y'all maintained the intensity and stretched the lead.
Yeah, you know, we're up 27 with about 7 minutes to play. I thought we took our foot off the accelerator a little bit and allowed them to spurt out. You know, they're averaging about 84 a game, and we allowed them to spurt out in the open floor and cut the lead. But then we calmed back down and got the ball to our playmakers and knocked down some open shots.
Was his game just a result of words of wisdom from you, or what was that tonight?
You know, he's put in the work. He's a good shooter. He went 1 for 8 in his last outing, and he was really in his feelings for the last couple of days. And I just think, you know, basketball's a funny game. That first one goes in, you make 2 in a row, 3 in a row, and you forget everything else, and that's what you want. I thought Tomas, had some good moments of making shots, made some good plays, of facilitating decisions. I'm trying to take some of the pressure off Moody and go through other people to make decisions. I don't want him to have to be the only guy, and Tomas is that guy that I think can make good decisions. And as I look here, he has 4 assists and no turnovers, and as a result, you know, I thought our ball movement was excellent.
Is the ball movement been, as good as it's been all year this last game?
You know, again, I think that we do a decent job with our spacing, with our roll replay stuff. Moody's doing a much better job of being patient with the ball. When he comes off the ball screen, the entire team, not only La Tech, but it's going to be Memphis, it's going to be Troy, it's going to be Kentucky, they're all going to game plan to stop him, as they should. And he's got, as he comes off ball screen action and we get into some roll replays and some spacing stuff, they're going to have to make some decisions. Early, when he moved to point, he was trying to react so quickly he wasn't allowing the floor to space properly. Now he is, and as a result, I think we're much more efficient offensively.
There's a lot of new pieces on this team. Do you think they're gelling together a lot better now and getting more comfortable?
I think we're getting better. You know, I feel like we are getting better. My hope is that we can pick up. We're still waiting word on Dante. You know, we've been told for 4 days it's going to be today, and it hasn't been. My hope is that he'll be in uniform against Memphis, which gives us another guard, another body, another athlete. I thought we moved more athletically. I constantly talk about playing with pop. I mean, we're an SEC team. We have to move like SEC athletes, and there's times I don't think we do. But I think a lot of that is just mentally so caught up in missing shots. And when you miss shots, it just affects everything, and you play tight. When you make shots, you can have a good feeling and a quality win like we did tonight.
What does it mean for these new guys to have this kind of game to take into the
I think it's huge. We have won 5 in a row, and you know, despite us, I looked at it after SEMO. SEMO, we shoot 34 and change from the field. It's the first game in 2 years that we've won when we shot less than 35% from the field, and we won it by 11 points on the road. Now, granted, they're not the Lakers, but they are scholarship players, and I thought they played well. They played with some emotion after what they were dealing with some player dismissal. So it shows that defensively we're finding ways to get some stops. Rebounding, we've been plus on the glass in 9 of our 10. And since we've moved Moody to the 1 and moved AP to the 3, we have not been out-rebounded by an opponent, which is a quality stat for us. We're not turning it over much, so we'll get quality looks. And obviously, if we can make them, we'll have more nights like tonight.
What do you say Dante could actually get minutes Friday if he's?
Yeah, anything's possible. Yeah, when a couple of guys out shall remain nameless. I mean, when you stand there and hold it, and let the other guy take it and go shoot a layup, or those guys. I don't know, Dante can do that. I think he can do that. So he might. He's a Memphian too. I don't want to put him in a situation where he's not ready for, but it's another body.
What do you know about Memphis?
Good team. They beat this team pretty handily. I've seen them play casually a couple of times. I actually watched the Memphis La Tech game for obvious reasons. I think they're talented. They're fast. They're athletic. It'll be a great game. It'll be fun. Our guys will be super excited. We got a lot of Memphians. We got a lot of guys that are going to be super excited to play in the FedEx Forum, one of the nicest arenas in the country. I'm sure there'll be a few Rebels sprinkled in there. Be a fun game for us and an opportunity for us to continue to move forward. I'm sorry, Rick. Age over beauty, my man. When Rick starts talking, you're supposed to stop and kneel. He must be new.
200 victories
No doubt. That's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. It's crazy. I've been here 10 years. I was asked on television. That's why I was late. I apologize. Those TV guys are pretty demanding. I was asked if there was any one game that would stick out, and you know what really sticks out to me? Our first year here, I get this job, and I sit in front of my team prior to addressing the media. You may have been the only one alive then, Rick. And I talked to Todd Abernathy, who's now on my staff, and Bam Doan, who's now a GA on my staff, and Clay Sanders. If anybody's seen Clay, tell him I said hello. But and these guys had never experienced a winning season. You know, they had 4 consecutive losing seasons. There was not a guy looking at me, Jeremy Parnell, that had ever experienced a winning season in college basketball. So we challenged them, and what did they do? I remember vividly Glenn Big Baby Davis trying to throw it across court, Brian Smith with that great length at about 5'4", batting the ball away to Todd to throw to Clay in the corner, hitting a big 3. We beat LSU. Then we played Alabama. That's when the 22 at half, that half-court trap, that's when that was the first game that we used that. We did it because Dwayne Curtis, with all his athleticism, we were trying to shrink the floor a little bit for the pressure so he wouldn't have to move quite as far. So we went to that 22, we call it 22 at half, and that half-court trap, and we turned Alabama over. It was a whiteout. It was the biggest crowd in the history of the program. They were a ranked team. We beat them. So now we got some momentum. Then we came back and beat Auburn. I think we were down 4 with about 2 to play, came back and won the game to win the SEC West. That 3-game stretch is what I remember because that team went from worst to first and experienced a winning season, got to postseason, which created the energy and the enthusiasm by which we got the Tui Center built and done. The Tui Center now has led to the Pavilion. So that's really what I reflect on when I look back at that 200 and I look back at the memories in this building. That and a few raccoons, but that's for another day. I hope that we can transfer over. Daniel, you tell me. I think we've won about 82, 83%. Yeah, 82 and a half, round up. Come on, Daniel. I went to Louisville High. 82 and a half makes 83, right? So, I hope we can transfer that over. We have had success here. I think the orthopedic community will be a little down on us because there'll be less knee surgeries as a effect of the seating capacity. Some of that tile in the bathrooms we'll miss. Thank you.